from Cat Stitch. Recording a bit earlier today because I have a semi voice, as you can hear. Not great, but there we go. For those that are new to my channel, this is not how I normally sound, trust me. But thank you very much for stopping on by, and if you like what you see, please make sure that you subscribe, like, you know, do all the things, and I'd love you to comment as well. Now, for those that are coming back, thanks guys for coming on back, and I can see we've also got a lot of new subscribers, which is really lovely as well. So I'll just give you a quick update of what's happened. I got a virus. It's not COVID, but it has affected my breathing, which there was a few issues, and I got it Thursday, would have been the 29th. I started getting sick, and then it just got worse and worse, and then on Monday they put me on steroids to try and help me breathe a bit better, and to get a bit of voice back as well. So it's been a tough couple of weeks. It's been a tough ruddy year, because I've never been sick really, but here I am. I've been catching every bloody bug that goes by, excuse language. So I thought, while my voice is still working okay and I'm breathing okay today, I'll do this, because it's a bit of a roller coaster thing. One day I'm fantastically fine, other days not so much, and it's not usually until the afternoon when I can, you know, get a bit more vocal. So I thought, well, hey, while I'm like this, let's get this done. Okay, right, so what have I got on the books today? I've got a new start. I've got some whips, I've got some finishes, I've got some stitchy kindness, I have got some haul, I've got a little bit of dyeing and play. I will try and pause before I have a coughing fit, otherwise I'm going to have to try and work out how to cut it if I do have one. Okay, right, so let's get on to this while I still have a voice. I've tried sort of noting down as much as I can. My brain is still a little fuzzy, so I hope you'll bear with me in regards to that. It is a beautiful day here in Wellington today. Still a bit cool. It's cool, but you know, it's spring and it's beautiful blue sky. It's just a bit cold when you're outside in it because there's a ruddy southerly breeze. And hopefully you guys can hear me. I'm sorry I can't talk any louder. I don't have any microphones apart from what's on my phone. So yeah, so I'm this is actually me yelling. I'm yelling at the phone. So we'll see how we go, and get what we can done today. Okay. Right, I'm just going to put that over here and just move this over here. Here we go. Okay, so let's get on to our finishes. I've been quite happy with the finishes that I've done this week, this fortnight. Oh, sorry, I did have on my list of things to do. For those watching from the States that have been affected by Hurricane Ian, I hope you guys are all well, and I'm sorry that you guys are having to go through that. I mean, you know, we get pretty good wind in Wellington, but it ain't nothing like that. And you know, I really feel for everybody. I hope you're all safe and well, and that your families are as well. I have, you know, one of my friends, she's let me know that they're waiting to hear whether it's good news or bad news about somebody, and that's just terrifying. It does take me back to, incredibly enough, to 9/11, when I was waiting to hear if my friend was okay. So I totally understand that. And yeah, my friend was okay, by the way, just saying. Fortunately, thank goodness. So I just want to say, you know, to those, and also to those anywhere else in the world that have been badly affected by whether it's Mother Nature having a bit of a hissy fit or other issues, war and things like that. I'm not a big follower of watching that. It's a lot of negative energy, and I prefer not to. I mean, I know it's out there. I'm not an idiot. But I just want everyone to know that I do feel for everybody, and I do send a lot of, as much positive energy as I possibly can, to those that are affected. Okay. Right, so on to finishes. Okay, so this one here, you would have seen it a couple of times because I was dithering about this one. I couldn't make up my mind whether I was actually going to do the lattice on it or not. So this is where it was in its Gothic window from JC's, Just Cross Stitch Halloween magazine. I think it was 2020. I'm not 100% sure. I didn't write it down. So that's where I was, and that's where I was going to leave it. I was thinking, that's a finish, that's it, it's done, it's fine. But then every time I looked at the actual picture of what it's supposed to look like, which is this one here, I was thinking, oh, you know, maybe I should just go back and do it. So I just went back and I did it. So here we go. Now, hopefully, there we go. So there it is. And I'm really happy I went back and I did that lattice. As much as I hate doing backstitch, I think it just worked really well. And boy, those candles really popped, didn't they? Those flames. So this is stitched on 14 count opal. It is, I think it's either Stormy Skies or Snowy Skies by Judy Designs. Judy Designs, she does beautiful fabrics and threads. She's in the UK. She sends worldwide. There's multiple clubs on her page, on her website, and I'll put her details down below as well. Okay, so last month on the Halloween challenge page, we were doing, and we're still continuing doing it, the Wild Violet challenge. Wild Violet, beautiful designs, and I'll put her link down below as well. Go and check them out. The challenge was to just choose any of the designs and do them and things like that. You could be to win a prize, and oh my god, I actually won one, but I'm not going to show you that until it arrives, which we'll talk about that next time, hopefully, or time after that, whenever it gets here from the other side of the world. But there is still a challenge going, and there's still prizes to be had, so, you know, check it out. I've got, I think now I've got about, I don't know, how many have I got now? I must have about 9 or 10 of the of her designs, I think, and I've done, this will be number 4, and it's Sleigh in the Woods. It is stitched on a 14 count opal. It's like an offcut piece, and I think it was it was Sew It All. I got it from Australia, Sew It All in Australia. So I'm just going to get the other board. There we go. That's better. So it is a blue, a very pale blue, but there's some little bits of white. So it looks very snowy, I thought. Now, of course, I made some changes on it because, you know me, I'm chronic. So, so the moon and all the little stars, the little dotty stars, they're actually all glow in the dark. And the thread for the sleigh, instead of it being black, it's actually Carrie's Creations Navy. So really, really happy with that. Yeah, love it. Love it, love it, love it. So finished that one. I finished my first ever Santa, my first ever Prairie Schooler, because I've never done one before. And I just sort of thought, look, I'm gonna give it a go and see how I like it. And I actually really like doing it, so I'm going to be doing more of them. I don't know if I'm going to do, like, you know, heaps and heaps, but there are a few that I've picked out that I've got that I'm going to do. So this is Prairie Schooler Santa 2000. Now I changed his red. I've used an overdyed, I think it's a Weeks Dye Weeks. No, it's not. I should have written it down. Sorry guys. If you really want to know, just ask me and I'll look it up for you. I'm really, really happy with that. I think he's absolutely gorgeous. And he looks really cool on the blue as well. Something a bit different. I'm used to seeing a lot of these centers on the neutrals and the you know, the browns and that sort of thing. But I think he looks really cool on the blue. So I'm really happy with that one. Just going to see if maybe I can give it more light. Now I think, oh, my brain's just gone absolutely dead. This is Witch Stitch, and it's by, I'm going to put it down below because I know I'm going to say the wrong one. I've got one in my head and I don't think it's that one, but that's the only one that's sticking in my head. So I'm just going to write it down below. This is Witch Stitch, and I did this in a couple of days. It was just very addictive. It was so fun. Now what I changed, okay, so I added, if you have a look, if I can get it close enough to thing, as you can see, for the spools, what I did was I did the X in a single strand, and then I went over it again with another single strand, but in long stitches to corners to give it like a thread look. And yeah, I changed the colours because, you know, I was stitching from stash. The fabric is Spooky Mansion from Live and Die in LA, 14 count Ada. Really happy with that one. Right, next one is another from Wild Violet. It's called Tea Party Seance, and I completely changed the, well, I mean, I stuck with the same colour palette that was in the design, so the purples, but I just, you know, went my way. And so here it is here. It's cute. It's a very cute little one. I've also used beads on it. I don't know if you guys can you see the beads? We go. So yeah, so I used beads on it. It's just stitched on a piece of 14 count opal. Again, I think this was one of the off-cut ones from Sew It All as well. But I was really, really happy with that. I just thought that was so cool. It's such a cool little design. From Madame Chantilly, I finished my first one of hers, Chic Halloween. Okay, here we go. So this is Chic Halloween. Can you guys, oh, have I got this plugged in? Hang on, I'm just going to see. I do. Hang on. I'm going to turn on the light. Give me a minute if I can figure out how to turn. Where's the on button? Oh, here we go. Okay, let's turn it down just a smidgen. Here we go. Oh, there we go. Now we can see it. How's that? Okay. So there's Chic Halloween. So the changes on her, I used a variegated black. I chose a different orange for the hair. Her bag, I made the purple. It's ultraviolet purple was what I used, which is Weeks Dye Works. Changed the orange for the pumpkin. Instead of stitching spiders, I actually did a little bead. Where are they? Where is it? Here's a little one. If I can, oh, there's the camera. Okay, so just here, you can see my little spider. And then stitched on the beads for her eyes and her hair. So the bigger beads are seed beads. The ones for her eyes are the petite beads. So yeah, sodding things to stitch, but they're really cool. And that was stitched on 14 count Jungle Vine from Judy Redesigns. It's one of her limited edition ones. But with Judy Redesigns, if you see any of the fabrics, and if I tell you the names of the fabrics and you really like them, even if they're a limited edition, get in touch with Jody Ray, with Michelle, and just say, hey, loved that one. Like, I've ordered Bare Branches, which was another limited edition. I've asked for that as a specialty dye, a custom dye, because I absolutely love it and I want more of it. Okay, so the first one of my, it's the last finish, I think. Yeah, so the last finish is also the first one for my daughter. She wants me to do a whole bunch of Christmas ones for her, and this is the only one I've done so far. So that's going to be a focus for the rest of the month, is get some more Christmas ones done. It's from Just Cross Stitch Ornaments 2020, I think, which is this one here. Now, I know it's not centre, it's not supposed to be, it's just that's my space that I'm going to be stitching in. So I've got a few of them, it just saved me having to unpack this piece of fabric. So they're all going to be small Christmas ornaments. But this was all just stitched. I changed the colours of it, but I also added, again, a bunch of beads. Like these ones here, the beads up to the sides here, that was all supposed to be stitched, and I thought, no, forget that, we're gonna sew them on. And then once I'd sewn those on, I thought, well, the tree needs a little bit extra trim, so I had the white beads out. I just added some more white beads on. And this is just getting stitched on a piece of 14 count. I'm not sure what the name of it is. It is a Judy rerun though. But yeah, so this was like an off-cut where I changed my mind about doing another design, and I just hadn't gotten around to frogging all the stitches, all the frames. So I thought, well, I'm going to make use of all the frames. And I'm just going to do a small design in each one, and then I'm going to cut them out and turn them into ornaments. Right, on to a new start. Okay, so Wild Violet, of course. As you all may probably know by now, Hocus Pocus 2 is out. I haven't actually seen it yet because I don't have Disney, but that's okay. You know, Hocus Pocus is one of my favourite movies, and Wild Violet has a house called Hocus Pocus, and it's this one here. And so I wasn't supposed to start it. I really wasn't. I was supposed to be just finishing projects. I wasn't supposed to be starting anything new, but it just kept on telling me to hurry up and start it. So I started it. So here it is here. And it's getting stitched on 14 count Spooky Hollow. Nope, Spooky Mansion from Live and Die in LA. So very cool. So I've made a start. I'm using Etoile. So the black is going to be Etoile for the design. So that's cool. Oh, that's what I was looking for the other day. Cool, so now I've got them. Sorry, I was just found... pick them up later. Okay, so the next ones we're on to whips. See, we're ploughing through these as fast as I can while I've got a voice. Okay, so first up is Black Cat Inn from SubRosa Designs. This is the one that I'm doing on a 25 count Lagana. Yeah. And I'm stitching it 1 over 1. So that's where I was. And here I am now. So I've added this part here. Really happy with that. So that's a couple of threads. I mean, that's the idea. When it comes to the 25 count, it's a little harder because my eyes need to be able to focus, and over the last couple of weeks it's been a bit of a hit and miss thing, so my smaller count things haven't been able to be really stitched on very much. Okay, so from Tralala is Bouquet d'Automne, Autumn Basket, Autumn Bouquet, or I don't know. I don't speak French. And that's where I was. So I really hadn't done a lot on this one. And here I am now. So now I know the sort of width and things like that. Now I'm not doing the alphabet stuff down the bottom, so this is my end point down here. So hopefully that's going to get. Sorry, hold it up a bit better. Here we go. I did briefly run the iron over, you know, some of these. Not so much, you know, the whip ones, because they're just going to get all scrunched up again. So I didn't go overboard with those ones. Next one I worked on was Count Twice, Stitch Once. I didn't get a lot further ahead on this one. I meant to go back to it, but I sort of got distracted. But this is where I was up to last time. And this is where I'm up to now. So I just have to finish the words, do the other plant down here. I can't remember what's down there. My brain's gone mushy. But yeah, so this is getting stitched on 14 count Nice by Live and Die in LA. I'm sure this is the Nice. Yeah. So that's really cool. Really happy with that. This one, hardly any progress at all, although I mean I did pull her out and I did do a little bit, but I was just having crap time kind of trying to concentrate, and then I didn't bring her back out again. She's a bit fluffy, but there we go. So Alice and the Mad Hatter by Flossbox. This is where I was up to last time. And this is where I'm up to now. So I just added some of the green around here, filled in her feet. There's a lot of colour changes down here, and I just didn't really have the attention span to keep doing that. So I didn't get as much done on her as I was hoping to this week, this fortnight. But I still love her. She's still a favourite. And that's getting stitched on 14 count fabric from Sew It All. It gets fluffy really easily, which is really annoying. It just seems to attract any cat hair and stuff. It drives me nuts. Just a second, I just need to get a drink of water before my voice goes completely. Which I don't usually do, but there you go. Sorry about the lighting, guys. Let's just do what we can. It's just, I think the time of day, I'm not used to filming at this time of day. I don't even know what time of day it is. I know it's the afternoon. Indigo Lane. Now last week when I had a look, I realised how I had everything upside down, the wrong way around and all that sort of stuff. I was like, you're an idiot. But that's where I was up to last time. And here we are now. So I have started on the house. And the reason I did that is because I made sure that I could remember which way it was up. So I haven't done a lot. I mean, I've done down here. And, yeah, and started on the house. So, again, choosing my own colours. And it's really cool. I'm really enjoying it. I've got to admit, I love this design. Indigo Lane. Do that one last. And then yesterday I picked her up, Miss Ladybug by Nora Corbett. She has been languishing on my shelf, and I don't know why I haven't been pulling her out to do anything on her, which is really annoying because now I've got a lot of reflection and I can't actually see the screen, so this is going to be interesting. But we're just going to go with it. We're going to, actually, let's see. I'm just going to move you. Sorry, guys. We're just having a little bit of trouble. How's that? Okay. Oh, that might be better. Oh, look at that. That might be better. I'm not re-recording because I don't know if my voice will go much longer. Okay. Right. Okay, so Nora Corbett, Miss Ladybug. This is where I was. And here we are. So I have filled in this wing, and oops, hang on, I'm going to get this on here a little bit better. Maybe I should put some felt or something on it so that things don't slip. Here we go. And I've started on the top of her dress, and I've started filling in this panel of her skirt as well. Really pleased. She's getting there. She's getting there. And she's getting stitched on 14 count lemongrass opal from Mystic Fabrics, which is a beautiful, beautiful colour. Probably, I think it was in some sort of like a grab baggy sort of thing, and there was a few different ones. The centre one, my Prairie School, the centre, that was another piece out of it, but that one didn't have a name on it. And then the last but not least is, of course, I couldn't not stitch on this in the last fortnight, was the Plum Street Samplers Cinnamon Stars Start Along that I'm hosting. Don't forget, if you want to join in, you don't have to start at the same time. You can pull it out of your whip pile if you've already started it. That's perfectly fine. Just whenever you post any pictures, please make sure you use the hashtag Cinnamon Stars Sal 2022. No, just 22. I'll put it down below. so that I can, you know, come and check them out, whether it's on, you know, on Facebook or stuff like that, or on Instagram. I would love to see your progress. I've seen a couple of finishes. I've seen some incredible different ones coming up, and how sometimes the colours work differently, or, you know, if they're using a different colour or the fabrics make it look completely different. It's just so cool. So, you know, please join in. It would be fantastic. And this is where I'm up to now. So I've nearly finished this corner. The house goes there. I'm saving the house till last. So once I finish these stars up here, I'm going to bring them over here, and then I'm going to start the other part, and then the last section I'll do will be the house, because I love doing houses. So that's where I'm up to at the moment. And this is another one of those pieces from the Mystic grab bag. It's a sort of a, it's really hard to sort of get the colouring right. Actually, that's not too bad. It's sort of a bluey grey, green sort of colour. So that's what I've been working on the last 2 weeks while I've been sick. I'm back at work on Monday, and then I'm back in the office on Tuesday. So we'll see how that goes. Okay. So, oh, there is one thing now. A while ago, I finished a Sanderson Sisters sort of silhouette. I can't remember off the top of my head the design. I know I got it from Etsy. I'll have to look it up, and I'll try and remember to put it down below. But I had got myself a couple of sort of box frames, and they were a bamboo colour, and I thought, oh, I want them a bit darker than that. So I made a paste out of you know, fabric dye. I made a thick paste, and I basically rubbed it on the wood to see if that would work, and it worked. And it created a lovely darker wood. And then, so I've just, it's not done properly, it's not finished, because I do want to maybe try and add a couple of lights in there as well. But there we go. So that's them flying over the, I've even got a little owl. I don't know if you can see it. Oh, that really light. There we go. So there we are. So that's what I did. My Sanderson sisters are finally in their frame, and yeah, so I just rubbed it. It was just rubbed, not wet. I didn't make it wet. I just rubbed it dry, and there we go. So there we are. So it's an FFO. There's an FFO as well. Woohoo! Right. Next up, first I want to talk about Stitchy Kindness from the lovely Nicole, who was the North Island stitcher. Not long before I got sick, we met up at our local park. This is the view. Wasn't it beautiful? Beautiful cherry blossoms were out. It was raining a little bit off and on, admittedly, but it wasn't. It was just, you know, sort of like the odd spits of rain. So we just stayed outside. It was just lovely. And shockingly enough, we were out there yakking for like a couple of hours, sitting outside. I was really shocked that we'd been there for so long. But it was lovely. And she surprised me with this beautiful project bag. Look. There's that fabric. Now, she actually showed this on her Flosstube when she made it. It is absolutely lovely. Perfectly fits. There we go. An 8x11, which is my favourite size frame, and she knows that. And it's quilted. It is just, you know, padded and stuff, and oh, it's just, thank you so much, Nicole. I really, really, really do love it, and I do appreciate it. And now that I've shown it, I know what I'm putting into it. It's a project for next month. So, yay, I can finally pick up the project now and put it in there. So on to a bit of haul. So I popped back down the day that I was meeting up with Nicole. I popped into Pete's Emporium, and I was supposed to be getting something completely different, and I had something completely different in my hand, and then I saw this fabric and I thought, oh look, I'll get this instead. Look at that. Oh my god, it is so cool. I don't know what I'm going to use it for yet, but I'm going to make use of it, and yeah, it is so cool. Look, I put a spell on you, and they're so cool. So yeah, so that so I got that. I also got a bit more fabric. Sorry. So I got 14 count Rustico marble. I got a half metre of that one. 14 count Rustico oatmeal, because I love using the oatmeal ones for all, you know, for the a lot of the ones that I'm planning on doing. So I got a metre of that one. I got, sorry, should have taken these out of the bags. This is a 20 count Balana dark cream. It was in the sale bin, so I grabbed that. And another of the 20 count Bologna in the green. This is a big piece. This is nearly 1.5. Oh my god, I didn't realize it was that big. It's nearly 1.5 meters. I guess he's going to be dyeing some of this because there's no way I'm going to use that much green. So those two off pieces of fabric I got from JK's. The two Rustico ones I got from Stitch NZ in down south, which arrived wonderfully timed. I also, from JK's, got myself another 8x8 and 11x11, so I can do 2 more of my 8x11 frames, because I'm realising I'm having to change the ruddy frames out so much. It's really annoying. So I want to have a whole bunch of them already made up, and then I can just switch between projects a lot easier and quicker. From JK's, I also, because I'm doing all these Christmas ones for my daughter, I needed some more white, so I went with the B5200. I like the brightness of that, and I sort of think for Christmassy ones, we want bright. So I got that. I also got some more Gentle Arts, because, you know, I love my Gentle Arts, and because of my plans, I need some more of these sorts of colours, so I got a nice array. I'm not going to go through them all because there's a few. Okay, so there's a nice array of threads, and I got my first ever Gloriana thread. It is Thistle Purple. It's really, I don't know if you can see it, but it's a beautiful purple. The thing is, when I ordered it, I was looking at something in particular that I wanted to use it on. Now I can't remember what it was because I never wrote it down because she didn't know if she could get it. So now I'm going to have to go through all my notes and see what was it that possibly needed Gloriana. So yeah, so it's a silk. So yeah, Thistle Purple number 215, 6 yards, 12 strand silk. It is really a beautiful one. Okay, is that everything? Have I done it all? Oh, when I was doing my whip parade the other week, there's one that they got left off because she'd already been put away for next year, so not one that I regarded as needing to show because it wouldn't be getting touched this year, and I felt really guilty. So I went and got it back out just so I can show you. She's getting pulled out next year. She just needs to have the beads and back stitch done. I don't really have anything big enough to hold her against, but we'll give it a go. Oh, she's big. So there we go. So that's Bellatrix from Bellarosa. So she's on my whip parade whip list for next year. So that's going to be really cool. Now, my brain has just gone dead again, and I'm so sorry, Chrissy. I'm going to get this wrong. Is it Carly Cat? Chrissy, finally, Farmgirl, has just released the most gorgeous cat design, which is already in my shopping cart waiting for payday, because I want to so badly. Carly Cat, which cat? It's like, oh my god, I need this cat. You know, it's like this cat was needed in my life, and apparently I inspired Chrissy, so I, you know, that meant a hell of a lot. It actually sort of reminds me a little bit of oh, I don't know if you can see it. Hang on, excuse me. Here we go. This tattoo, my witchy cat. God, I hope you could see that. And yeah, I'm wearing flowery pants because they're comfy. They're not pajama ones. But Chrissy has just released, I think it's Carly Cat, but I'm not 100% sure. I'm so sorry. This is her. Isn't she beautiful? She's one that, yeah, you all need to get her, and you all need to do her. I might do a stitch along for her next month. I think she deserves a month to be promoted, and she's just lovely. I was planning on starting, you know, a different Funny Farmgirl, but I'm going to start her first. So unfortunately Matilda is not getting started next week as planned. So yeah, so Funny Farmgirl has released this beautiful cat, so make sure you go and check her out. I'll make sure to put the link down below. Let's see, what's a couple of other things? I knew I should have written these. Is it Felicia? Is it MousePotatoDesigns? I was watching Felicia, and she, oh my god, she's like the guru of organisation for planning what she's going to do. She has not only on her page got all her plans for next year sorted, she's started on 2024. I'm like, I'm still struggling to work out what I'm going to do the rest of this year, let alone next year. But in December, on December 1st, she is starting Shabby Winter. Is it Cure de Better? This one. So she's starting that on the 1st of December. Now I'm going to start it as well, but I'm not going to do it as one big thing. I don't want anything that big. I want a whole bunch of the little small ornaments. So I'm going to be doing those. I'm not going to do every single one of them though, because there's some that, yeah, no. But I'm going to be doing a whole bunch of them. So I'm going to be starting that on December 1st, along with Felicia. I'm not 100% sure what the style is, but go and check out her Flosstube, and she'll be able to, you know, give you more information on that. Next month, on the 16th of November, with North Island Stitcher, Nicole, she's starting a stitch along for Happy Mood Point. Happy Point Mood. I always get their name wrong. Happy Point Mood. Happy Mood Point. Oh, bollocks. Anyway, so for her anniversary, she's starting a stitch along for any of the designs, not the one that she's particularly doing, but any of the designs will be fine. And I'm going to be doing this one, which I have had in my pile to do since the start of the year. So there's my incentive. So that's getting started on the 16th of November. So if you want to join in, you know, have a look at all the different designs from them. I'll make sure to try and remember to put their link down below as well. Let's see, what's the other one? Matter in Hand. I've got that on order. And I'm trying to remember who is it that's starting that at the beginning of the year. Oh, it's going to annoy me. I know that there is a stitch along, start along for that one for Matter in Hand at the beginning of in January, mid-January. I just haven't written it down. I've been watching a lot of Flosstube, and because I'm watching it on my big screen, I don't write all the notes down, so I'm relying on memory, which is probably not a good thing, but there we go. So there's a few designs that I'm going to be doing next month. On the Halloween Facebook group that I'm a member of, which is like my major haunt. Nevermore may be the theme of next month. So any designs with Edgar Allan Poe, with Nevermore, with ravens and crows, they're all going to be part of a stitch along. So it doesn't matter which the design is, you know, it's a stitch along that we're all stitching a similar theme. And so I've picked out a few to choose from, even though I said I wasn't going to start any more projects next month apart from the coffee one, but I'm going to be starting, although if I start it before the end of this month, and in reality it's a whip, so I'm not really breaking my rule next month. But speaking of that, I had got myself this piece of, sorry, something in the eye, this piece of 14 count Ada, very bright yellow, and I got it from the sale bin. It was never really a colour that I would ever use, I mean, in all honesty, but it was on sale, and it was a piece of 14 count fabric, and it was when you know, fabric was starting to get a bit hit and miss, and I sort of thought, well, I could always dye it, and I never got around to it. And you can hear my nose is getting all blocked up now, go figure. So I got up this morning and I sort of thought, oh, look, I'll go make myself a coffee. And when I was in the kitchen, I was ready, you know, just put the jug on. Sorry. In the kitchen, I just put the jug on and I sort of thought, waiting for it to boil. And I looked around and I thought, oh, actually, let's go and have a nosy. So I came back down to my zen room, opened it, had a look in the cupboard, grabbed 2 RIT dyes. I had a racing red and I think it was forest green or green. It was one of those two. And I just grabbed them, took them down to the kitchen, grabbed a jar, grabbed the yellow fabric that I knew that, you know, I'd sort of just been tidying up and I'd seen it the other day. So I grabbed that, took it down. While the jug was boiling, I wet the cloth, shoved it in the jar. I got my little jug and I made up a mixture of the racing red and I poured that into about three-quarters, just over 3/4 of the way full. And then I put a dollop of the green on top, undiluted. Just topped that in, put the lid on, turned it up once, turned it back down, put it back down, turned around, made my cup of coffee, turned it back and rinsed it out. Drained it, rinsed it out. Took it out, hung it up, and then I ironed it to complete the dry, which also helps to set it. Now, I'm not a dyeing person. I like playing with dye. I like playing with colours. I like seeing what happens if you mix this with this. It may not always work. Oops. But that's part of the fun, you know. And so I did it on that yellow piece. And this is the end result. And this is going to get used next month in my Nevermore, which is why I'm showing you. So there we go. Isn't that cool? I think that's pretty much the colour there. So I've got a few different designs to choose from for it. I was thinking of either Lila's Studio, Nevermore, but I need to see, will it fit? I don't know if it will. I don't think it's quite big enough. There's Halloween Delivery. Is that Plum Street or Blackbird? It's one of the two. So there's that one. And then there's another one or two. So it all comes down to what's going to fit on this, but they're all going to be in the darker tones. So that's what I did this morning. Now, see, I mean, I know people can sometimes spend a lot of time dyeing. I don't. I have no patience for it. I don't have trays. I don't have fancy gearwickers and stuff. I actually used a toothpick to poke it because I couldn't find where my other stirrer stick was. So I just grabbed a toothpick. Yeah, shoved that in. And it was an old Dolmio jar, sauce jar is what I've just shoved it all in. And it worked. It worked perfectly fine. I didn't wash it. And I'm happy with that. I keep looking at getting one of those silver tray things to maybe try that. The one that you sort of see a lot of people doing where they put it into a tray and they're spooning it over. Oh God, no, way too much time, way too much effort. I like the jar because I can just grab the jar, shove it in, pour over the liquid, close it, and I could leave it for 5 minutes, or I could leave it for a couple of hours. And I get a similar sort of result, depending on how tightly I pack it in. So, yeah, I've got to get myself some more grey, because I've realised I don't have any grey, and I need some greys and browns for some of the designs I want to do, if I'm going to dye any more fabric. Actually, have I got... Please hold. I don't know if any of those are the ones that way. Okay, so I'm starting to go doolally again. Well, there's nothing unusual. Okay, so the other thing I tried to do this week was to set up the Cricut maker. And I've looked at I've looked at a lot of YouTube videos and all that sort of stuff, and I've got it loaded, the design thingy loaded onto my laptop, and that's all cool. But now it's telling me I needed a USB plug for my laptop to go into the Cricut when you first set it up. It didn't come with that. I'm just borrowing it. It's not permanent. I've got the power plug, but I don't have a USB plug, so I'm just gonna wait till my honey can come round and he can work it out, because my brain hurts. So yeah, so let's see, what have I been watching? Like I said, I've been watching a lot. I've had Saltbox Stitcher. Like I said, I love watching. Love watching. North Island Stitcher, 911 Stitcher Stacey. I was watching hers. She did one the other day. If you have ever wanted to try to dye perforated paper to be able to stitch on it, so instead of it being like the white, I mean, I've got a couple of colours. I've got red and I've got brown, but if you get the white and you want to dye it, Stacey in her last Flosstube showed you how to do that with a tea bag, and tea dyed it, and it looked really cool. There's a little bit of time and effort, but it looks really, really cool. Sort of reminds me a bit of like aging an old pirate map, or something like that, where you don't want to make the map wet, but you want it to have that gungy sort of look. So honestly, check out Stitchy 911, her latest one. Stacey, she was doing a tutorial on how to tea dye your perforated paper. Really, really cool. Like I said, MousePotatoDesigns, Felicia, I love watching. Honestly, she just makes me giggle so much every time I watch her episodes. She is so self-depreciating and stuff like that, and yet she's so wonderful. Definitely a kindred spirit. She's about as crazy as me, but she's a bit more verbal about it. Hang on just a second. Okay. Laughing's not good either. It creates a bit of an issue. Who else did I watch? Sanctum Stitching. They've got a new one up. They're a lovely couple. You hardly, I wish they'd post more often, because I love watching them. They're such a cute couple, Shawn and Fawn. Really lovely to watch. And crikey, who else? Obviously Chrissy, finally a Farmgirl. Definitely watched her. Stitchy Witch 42, and which is Audrey, and Anna from Stitch Roadie, and also oh my god, RebelStitcher. Oh jeez, I was thinking I was just watching her this morning. Dork. Yeah, so check them out. Go and share the love. Go and give them their support. There's some designers in there as well. Of course, Brenda and the Serial Starter, Brenda and Nora, watched them. Okay, able to catch up with them, which was great. And right, so I'm going to before I stop breathing, I'm going to sign off for now. And you guys take care, and hopefully I'll see you again in 2 weeks. See what I get up to, and we'll talk more about my plans for what I'm wanting to do going forward. So take care, everybody, and remember, march to the beat of your own drum, because that's when the magic happens. Toodles. Oh, hi guys. There's a little bit extra added on. I forgot one thing. Part of my Stitchy haul, because I had it in a different space. I got some new charts. I'll show you the ones that I haven't printed up, that I purchased, and I'll just sort of put them here as with what they are. I think that's long enough. And here are the other new ones that I got. Now these ones arrived from JK's Cross Stitching Supplies in Australia. She only sends to Australia, New Zealand, sorry. So this one is from My Big Toe. Needles and pins. Pins and needles, needles and pins. When one piece is finished, another begins. Yeah, totally right. That one. Good Intentions by Kathy Barrick. It says, I myself am made entirely of flaws stitched together with good intentions. I just loved that as soon as I saw it. And then, now, if any of you watch an Aussie and a Kiwi world, Judy, you would have seen, I think it was her last one, where she showed her set of Madame Chantilly seasons. Trays, the tier trays, and oh yeah, oh boy, that was dangerous, because I had been looking for a seasonal one to do, you know, for seasons and that sort of stuff, and so I got them. So we have got spring. Sorry if it's shaking, guys, I do apologize. Halloween. And I love how Halloween and autumn are different. Easter. Winter. Love the owl. Look at that owl. And the fox. So cool. Christmas. Summer. It's autumn. Now, there's also 4th of July. I'm not going to be keeping that. That's going to get put away for some sort of future giveaway, I think, because, no offence, but we don't celebrate 4th of July in New Zealand. But hopefully I'm instead going to get Valentine's, because that's the only one I'm missing from the series. So those are all my new charts, and a lot of them are part of my plans for next year. So I'm just sort of starting to get everything together for it now. So there we go. So again, sorry about that, guys, but I'm now going to go and try and get something to eat, and I'll get this edited and things like that later on, and get this posted up tonight. So it'll be early. Oh my god. But it'll still be usually on a Sunday. Okay. So hopefully in 2 weeks I'll catch up with you next time. You guys take care. Thank you guys very much for watching. And remember, if you like what you saw, you know, do all the things, whatever they are. Take care of each other and yourselves. And keep well and keep safe. Much steady growing drum, guys. That's where the magic happens. Okay.